And can you also pop up the agenda? Amanda, please? Sorry. Can't believe it's so dark out. So I guess it sneaks up on me every year. Okay. All right. So I'd like to call the executive committee meeting for the Otter Creek Communication Union District to order. At I guess it's what 5:06. So the agenda is as shown. So approve the agenda, approve previous meeting minutes, general updates, partnership discussions, any VACUDA or VCBB updates, status of our grants, go over our financials and approve the warrant, and then any other business or discussion about our next meeting and adjournment. Any discussion or comments on the agenda before we call for a motion to approve it?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as read. Chris Custer, Upperton.
Thanks, Chris.
Second, Larry.
Thanks, Larry. Hey. So motion on the table to approve the agenda as written. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
In a meeting. Aye.
Okay. The agenda is approved. Okay, next item on the agenda is approval of the meeting minutes from last month.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of October 12th, 2022 as presented. Larry.
Thanks, Larry.
Seconded, Chris Custer.
Thanks, Chris. Any discussion, comments, updates to the meeting minutes for last meeting? Okay, all those in favor of approving the minutes of our October 12th meeting signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, the ayes have it. The meeting minutes are approved. Okay. General updates. I don't really have too many. I think general updates. There's been a few a few updates, but I think it's more appropriate to talk about them in the partner discussions or in the BCBB or VACUDA updates. Amanda, do you have anything that you would like to update the executive committee on?
I guess random bit of news. There's a new CUD having had the vote yesterday. So Chittenden County has its own CUD.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That's about as general of an update as I can think of.
Yeah, I don't think it'll have any effect on us, but
No, it shouldn't.
yeah. So, okay. We can move on to the partnership discussions. So these partnership discussions are probably best dealt with in executive session. So I forget, can I make a motion that we go into executive session as of now? 5:09.
Okay, hold on, let me. Okay, Larry, can you confirm that you need to vote? Or I guess Jacqueline, people need to move second.
I don't have the correct wording though in front of me.
No, I think Tony got it. He has the date and time, I guess, as of 5:10, and someone needs to second.
Yeah.
I'll second Jessica.
Thanks, Jessica.
Maureen, I'm just gonna let you know, I'm gonna put you in the waiting room, so to speak. So it's the members, I just didn't want you to have that happen without a heads up.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for letting me know.
Okay, and then I'll bring you right back in as soon as I can. One moment. Putting in waiting room. All right, and all right, go
Okay.
for it.
It's 5:19 by my clock, and we're coming out of executive session.
We
Next,
put the agenda back on. Sorry.
yeah, I was gonna say next item on the agenda, I believe, is VACUDA updates, but
Yeah, 1 second. Um, yes, Larry.
yeah, so Larry, do you have any VACUDA updates for us? I think you're on mute, Larry. I think you're maybe still on mute potentially.
It's trickier when you're on your phone, figuring out the cues. It's like,
Yeah. Larry, we can't hear you, buddy.
yeah, it looks like he's working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, with the app, I don't know if there's a shortcut. I think when you're
Is there any way you can unmute him?
rats, I can ask to unmute. Maybe he gets a prompt.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can,
Okay.
thanks, Larry.
Yeah, one of the things I jotted down, that letter that we sent out to the select boards with an Otter Creek Communication Union update. If we happen to, by the end of this year, partner with an ISP, we could do an updated letter to go into town reports, just to let people know who our partner is, if that happens to happen.
Right, okay.
So, see, recruiter report, we have 3 meetings this month. I don't know why, well, we had elections and the budget. Our elections are going to be November 15th. We still have an opening for the position of secretary. The chair is asking for members of the newer CUDs to step up for these positions. Not going to happen for me. We're talking about an administrative grant to support officers. The workload is starting to increase, and they're looking into maybe there is some financial support, especially for the chair, the amount of time it takes, but we'll see where that goes. The 2023 budget was adopted November 1st, and the budget is about the same as last year. They're working on a draft policy on CUD mergers, should CUDs want to do that. And also they're planning on a VACUDA legislative day in Montpelier. So that would be sometime in either January or February. VCBB is working on a workforce development press release. And we also, or they have a new VCBB staff member. Her name is Lucy Rogers. We may be hearing from her. I don't know if you saw, it was in the paper, there was a VCBB press release on ARPA, their match program. And we talked about the Northern Borders Grant. It's $1.2 million. It's a general grant, has flexibility, maybe able to use for VACUDA administrative cost. And it's basically general support, but it cannot be used for any lobbyist. And as Manda mentioned earlier, we have a new CUD in Chittenden County. It was 88% voted in favor of that. So that's actually good news, since the whole idea of CUDs is to reach every premise in the state. There's a new PSD, which that's the Vermont Department of Public Service. Data is likely to be published online. It said today. I don't know if it made it or not. And it's going to be presented to the VCBB on Monday, November 14th. I think that's all I have.
Thanks, Larry. Just
Yeah.
so for everybody's information, I did reach out, last time we had discussed about the dues, the level of dues that the BCBB, or sorry, OCCUD has been asking for from us. I did reach out to their chairman a couple times. I have not heard anything back. So if you have the opportunity, I know you said you had 3 meetings, Larry, but if you have the opportunity to just bring up our concern, that would be helpful.
Sure, I'll do that.
Thanks.
Yep.
BCBB updates. There aren't tons of updates from the BCBB. We've gotten a few. Amanda, you probably are in a better place to talk about this, but we've gotten a few requirements that the BCBB has not sprung on us, but basically just told us about that would affect any kind of partnership agreement we have. As part of our discussion, we've included those in our potential partner discussions. Not sure if there's anything else, Amanda, that I'm missing.
There's increased discussion at VCBB about CUDs undertaking full audits. Even though we haven't spent the amount needed to trigger one, they're going to be just requiring them, and it's not necessarily a bad practice. So it's something that we need to, I think, more seriously discuss, confirm, and then start the RFP process for. And I did just check. I didn't see any new data posted to the website. That would be huge if that actually came through. And yeah, as I was mentioning to Larry at the beginning of the meeting, he had sent emails on about BEAD funding. So they had been working on applying for federal level funding, which now we need to look at the requirements for and see whether or not we can apply for. That's about it, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have any other BCBB updates. Okay, moving on to the grant status. We've got the H315 grant that we've got until the end of this year.
Correct.
That was extended till December 31st. I think, I'm not sure exactly how much there is left in it, Amanda, but it's, maybe Jackie would know as well, but it's, I think it's on the order of like $25,000 or $30,000 we have left, which I don't think we're going to spend all of before the end of the year. So that money would go back to the state.
Yeah, I can pull up the remaining amount. Yeah, I believe we have, as of last month, $31,000 remaining and
Yeah.
change.
Okay.
But that, again, those amounts are residual from legal fees we had thought we would incur in this time, as well as additional consulting fees that were never used. So that's where that comes from.
Okay.
I guess for what it's worth, I don't know if we are even able to do another amendment at this point, but if we could even get one through, we could consider asking to use those funds to fund an audit, but I don't think we could get the audit contracted in the time because we can't prepay with these funds. So
Okay.
actually, now that I think about it, it would not work. So never mind. We're gonna have excess funds.
All right. Any questions on the grants? The H360 money,
We haven't even touched yet,
we haven't touched it yet. So,
but that should fund any CUD work for the next 18 months. That was the purpose of it. Make sure we
Yeah.
had funds for anything like website maintenance and such.
okay. Moving on to item number 9, the financials, and the warrant.
Yeah, so the warrant, there's not really a whole lot on there again. So there's the Google 2 invoices, Amanda's consulting fee, and then the bookkeeping services through Steward. And then we had a primer invoice that goes against our retainer that's being held there.
Right. So the retainer, we've already paid that, right, as part of our fees. So when the
Yes.
H316 grant expires, that won't affect that, correct?
No, those are completely separate funds.
Okay, all right. Just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure. Okay. Can you go back up to the amount, Amanda, please? Okay, so we need a motion to approve the warrant in the amount of $5,614.28.
I make a motion, Chris Custer, to pay the warrant in the amount of $5,614.28.
Thanks, Chris. I guess I could second the motion. So I will second the motion to pay the warrant for $56.14.28. Any discussion, comments, questions, concerns about the warrant? Okay, all those in favor of approving the warrant, signify by saying aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. The warrant's approved. Thank you. Okay, next up on the agenda is any other business?
Just to let you know, the SAM registration, I just went in and checked it, and everything is approved and active.
Woo-hoo.
That's awesome.
Yay.
We did hear that ensuring that we were up to date on the SAM process was a big time suck for past applicants to VCBB for funding. So it's great that you
Yeah,
guys got that out of the way. Thank you for all your work on that, Jackie
Yeah,
and Tony.
thanks for all the help on that, because that was definitely not something I wanted to ever navigate on my own, so.
yeah, and they changed a lot of things this year in SAM. So even for my own through the town, I've had to update a lot of things. So I'm doing double duty on it, so
I'm sorry.
it's okay. Like I've had to update stuff for the town, so I'm like, well, I already know how to do it for updating the other one, so
True. Still, it's painful. Thank you for your time on that.
yeah, no, it's fine.
The only other issue that we may want to take up in any other business is, do we need a motion to approve us kicking off an RFP process for an audit? Or do we, I guess we would need approval to issue the RFP, but I don't think we need one for us to just start on developing an RFP, right? I think that's, so I guess we don't need a motion for that. Yes, I guess I just talked myself out of it.
I will start putting something together though. That is your wish.
Yeah, I think we should try to
Yeah.
start putting something together. I don't know if anybody has some ideas about what accounting firms we might want to issue it to, but let's put together an RFP first, and we'll we can figure out how we launch it, get approval to launch it, maybe at our next meeting. Okay.
There might be a list through the League of Cities and Towns
Okay, I'll check. Thank you.
of
Yeah,
audit.
I'm sure
firms.
there must be a list of firms that the
Yeah.
state has approved for doing these types of audits.
Right.
Yeah.
And they might even have some type
Negotiated
of,
rates or something.
yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if they have an RFP started
Okay,
for like a blanket.
I will
Okay.
definitely check that out. Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's clean that up. Okay, our next meeting. Let me pull my calendar up.
14th of December.
14th of December. Yeah,
Wow.
Where'd the year go?
it's flying by. Okay. So next meeting will be on the 14th of December as our normal practice to have it on was it the second Wednesday of every month or?
And just
Okay.
I'll send out a reminder meeting so everyone does remember, but the next board meeting is not on a Wednesday, it's on Monday, the 14th. So the full board meets again next week, but
On
not on
Monday,
Wednesday,
not on Wednesday.
not on Wednesday.
You
Okay,
said
yeah, we
full
probably-
board meets on Monday next week is what you just said?
Yeah, I sent out an email soon after last month's meeting.
Yeah.
And yeah, it should be the 14th.
Okay.
Zoom will affirm for me. 1 second.
Okay, I don't actually have that on my calendar, but let me. Thank you for the reminder.
I thought I sent one out. If I didn't, I'm in a lot of trouble. Sent.
Right, well, I just jotted it down on my calendar, so maybe you can just double check that you
Sent something?
sent
Yes.
out the meeting notice.
Yep, I'm gonna check that right now.
Okay, we may want to just, because it's different, we may also want to sort of reach out
Send a reminder.
individually to members just to make sure we have a quorum. Okay. Any other topics, discussion, anything before we entertain a motion to adjourn? Okay, I motion that we adjourn the meeting of the Otter Creek CUD Executive Committee. Any
second.
seconds?
Yep.
Thanks,
Custer.
Chris. Any discussion? All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. All right. The meeting's adjourned.
See you
Hooray.
later.
Done.
Recording.